Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends at yarnspirations.com. Today we have the Jasmine stitch, also could be enunciated as Jasmine. It's also called the Daisy Puff. This is a bit of a tough one to learn. You need to know a lot of things, and we're just going to jump right into it and get started immediately with this. We need to talk about your yarn and your hook and another tool in just a moment. First up, for the crochet hook, I'm using here an Afghan hook. It's used in Tunisian. You cannot, unfortunately, use stuff like this because there's going to be at least 24 loops on this hook at one time. So you can obviously not get 24 in those, so that's out. The other thing that I'm recommending is that I'm just using a triangular shape marker that somebody got for me. I'm using that so it doesn't roll away, but it's also easier for me to hold to the project. And what this is doing is that because I have such thick fingers, as somebody pointed out so nicely, is that I find that using the fingers to be able to create a space gives me a bit of inconsistency. So I use my pen here to be able to do that, and you can see that almost all the holes are consistently because I did that. So if you have an issue with dexterity, I'll quickly demonstrate what it looks like to do it regular style using your middle finger, but for me, I'm not successful with it because I think my fingers are too fat for that. So we need that. The other thing that you need to consider is the yarn. Not every yarn will work with this. Your yarn has to be at least slippery so it can at least slide nicely, but the yarn also cannot be a yarn that will easily separate in the plies. So for example, Karen Simply Soft is one of those yarns where the plies separate really easily. That's going to be your absolute nightmare, so you want to make sure that the twist of the yarn is actually pretty tight. So let's begin, and we're going to start this process immediately. I made a crochet diagram just to help me illustrate what's going on here. There's some information that is missing, but I'll point it out to you. So what's going to happen is that we're going to create our first row, and the row is actually being created like this, and we're just going to continually add. Now, it doesn't matter how many of these you do, it'll always line up perfectly. So that's not something that you have to concern yourself with, which is the number of these. So you can make it as little or as many as you want to. If this particular blanket, when you go to do the sample that I showed you is my third time trying it. This one does require a bit of practice in order to get the tension to look right. And so that's something that you'll have to figure out. Once you get this one done, we then start moving on. And once we do this first row, everything else just matches up equally in order to balance itself. So once you understand how to go across it like this, you just continue to go back and forth until the cows come home. I don't think that you'll need a border for this. Okay, you ready to sweat it out? Let's begin. So I have my pen ready and I have my yarn ready, and I'm going to create a slip knot. And using my Afghan hook, I want to slide that in and pull down on it, and I need to chain 2 to start. I'm going to try to go as slow as possible with intentional pausing. So we're going to chain 2, so 1 and 2. Once you're ready, we're going to do a puff stitch in the first one of the 2. Okay, so it's the second one back. To do this, we're going to chain 1, create a little bit of extra slack, and in the first one, right where my other thumb is here, you're just going to yarn over and insert your hook into that chain. And you're going to yarn over, pull through. So this is one of 3 times that you need to do that. So let's yarn over, do it again, same stitch, pull through, and yarn over, do it again, and this is the 3rd time. Now, other hosts, what they tell you to do is to put your finger in the way so that when you go to try to pull through, that your finger acts as a spacer. My fingers are so fat, I cannot do it. And because of the dexterity of my hands not being able to bend so easily, it's a problem. So I've come up with a solution for that, is to use a pen. And so the pen here, I need to put it in a way that it will slide out. So if I put it like this and I try to slide it, it will capture on the cap. So I'm using the back side of my pen. It's also flat so it doesn't roll away on me. So when I slam it down on the table, it will not be flying all over the place. So before I start and pull through, I want to push in my pen, and I want to push in the pen so that it's just going to be laying down on top like this. So when I go to grab this yarn, it's going to go around the pen instead of my hand. And so I'm going to pull through, and it's going to pull the pen into the puff stitch itself, but the pen, because it's slippery, will let the yarn slide. Carefully, just pinch the project. See this loop that is created around the pen? So when you slide out your pen, you'll be able to see that loop, and you need that loop in order to play, and you just insert your hook into that loop. Yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2. And that is your first one that you need to do. Now we're just going to continue to build up along the bottom of your project. So you can make as many of these as you want. It'll be the width of your project. To restart a new one, yarn over, pull through, and give it a bit of slack. See this space that's being created right here? That's where you want to go. So yarn over and do that 3 times. So we go in once, provide some slack, yarn over and in, provide some slack, and yarn over, going in, provide some slack. This is the time that you're going to grab your pen or use your finger, put it in like this, and once there's more on the project, this pen, it gets easier to hold it with it, and so you just want to go around your pen. So just grab it and let that pen get sucked in as you're doing it. Once you're happy, move it out. So I go away from me, slam it down, and then that loop that's left is where I want to stick in my crochet hook. So I want to make sure I get all the plies. So I pull through, and then pull through 2. See, and there's number 2. So let's begin another one. You're going to chain, give it a bit of slack, and come into that space right here. So you don't need to get that pen up right away. So going in once, twice, and 3 times. Get your pen. And then pull through. So the trick is not to pull any of the extra plies. You can see that I did pull some extra plies, so you may be able to wiggle yourself out of that ply issue. If not, you're going to have to retry again. Once you're happy with that, pull this out, and that loop that is left behind is the loop that you want to go into, pull through, and pull through 2. I'm going to show you one more time. So we start by chaining 1, create a little bit of extra, yarn over, and going into that space. Pull through once, twice, and 3 times. Put the pen in. And pull through. This video has time markers, so if you don't know where I'm going, you can just go in the time markers and you can reverse back to restart any of the particular pieces. Okay, so you can just go through, and the trick is to try not separating the plies. So you can do as many of these as you want that you saw in the diagram, and I'll probably just do a couple more, and then I will see you and we'll start the next row. So keep on doing that across. Now back to the diagram here, this is actually right here is technically the same as here. So when you determine the width of this, if you want to start going back, you can go back at any time, but what I'm about to show you is that we're actually going to make an extra one, which is part of the base, but instead of it leaning out like this, the way that it's going to look eventually, it'll be part of going up in a vertical position like this. And let's try that next. So let's just say you wanted to do something like this. Maybe it's a coaster and you're happy with the width of it. The next one that we're about to do is exactly the same with what you did. The difference is that it'll be bent going in the vertical direction. And it's only because you're just gonna bend it. It's nothing special. So to do one more, we're just going to chain up one, give us some slack, and it's exactly what I just showed you. So we're just going to go once, twice, and 3 times. And pull through. Now, if you don't like my pen idea, you can let me know in the comments. So you're just going to pull through, and it leaves that space open for me. And I pull through, and then pull through 2. So instead of this one being out like this, it's going to bend up like this. So it's exactly the same thing. I'm just bending it differently. So now we're going to officially go across on row number 2. This is technically part of the first part of row number 2 by bending it just like that. To begin number 2, we are going to be using this piece, and this piece to create 3 pieces of the daisy. So how we're going to start is that you're going to just chain up 1, give it some slack, and the first one will be right here. Okay, so you're going to yarn over, and you're going to do that 3 times. So going in, pull through, yarn over, going in, pull through, and one more time. But you're not going to finish this one yet. We still need to keep gaining more. So now we're going to move on to the next space right here. So go right into the space. You can pull it. It looks like almost like a chain. And you're just going to use this empty space right there. So you're going to yarn over first. And just pull it through. So once, twice, and 3 times. So now you got 2 sets on here, but you need 3 for these daisies. So then you're going to advance to the next one right here. So right into the space. So yarn over first and going in. So once, twice, and 3 times. So to put my finger in there to hold that from sucking through, I find it's really difficult. So this is where the pen comes in handy. So lay the pen down in front like this. And just grab the yarn. And I would be considering everything is in groups of 3. So you see 1, 2, and 3. So I would yarn over and pull and just focus on the first group first just to get it through. So the first group is through. And now that this has been sucked in, it's not going to fall out on you. So then yarn over, or sorry, continue to pull through. This does require practice. It's almost like surgery. And then you're going to continue to pull that through the final. If you rush yourself, you'll pay the price of it later. Once you have it through all 3 sets, just push this hook forward and just pinch right here to prevent this when you pull it out from going away. So just keep holding on to it, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through the 2. And now you just made the center of a daisy. Okay, so when you look at it from this perspective, this is the last one that we did. Okay, so it went into a vertical, and the other ones went horizontal, angle, and down. So let's try again. So let's start a new one. So we want to use the center, the here, and then the next one to make your next petal. So you're going to yarn over, create some space, and just yarn over and do your 3 times. So once, twice, and 3 times, pull through. And then you're going to come in, advance down on the row below, come right here. So yarn over first. So once, twice, 3 times. So that's 2 of 3. So the next one's right here. So yarn over and in, once, twice, and 3 times. And now this is where your pen's going to come. So you have 3 groups once again. So place your pen in, right here, and yarn over, pull through the first group. So just concentrate one group at a time, and once you get it through, the pen will hold, and then continue to pull through the next group, and then continue to pull through the final group. Once it's in, just pinch with your thumb, remove your pen, and use that loop. Yarn over, pulling it through, and pull through 2. Okay, I'm going to show you one more time. So yarn over, and do that 3 times. Okay, where's the next one? It's right here. Yarn over, do that 3 times. So once, twice, 3 times. And then the next one is further down the row. So once, twice, and 3 times. Put your pen in. Pull through the first group. Pull through the next group. Pull through the final group. Once it's through all, pinch and remove, and use that loop. Going in. Make sure you get all the plies on there, and pull through, and then pull through the 2. So the pen is dictating the center piece because it's being consistent, because I'm just pulling it out, and you'll see that it will balance out as well. So what I want you to do is keep on going down your row, and I will continue to go, and I'll show you how to finish this at the very end. So you're eventually going to come across, and you'll have one of these that are left over. This is your last one. So you still have to do your daisy going there. You have to use the eye, this spot, and then this side of the last in order to finish. So I'll demonstrate that. So it's just what you know. So you're just going to yarn over 3 times. So once, twice, 3 times. Okay, jump down, and right here. So once, twice, and 3 times. And then the final one is the bottom of this piece right here. Sometimes you just have to fake it, just stab it somewhere. So just get it right at the bottom and just start. And just once you determine that you think you know where you're going, just continue to match that same spot. So once, twice, and 3 times. Okay, all right, still want to use my pen and just focus on getting it through each group on its own. So we got through once, twice, and the 3rd time. So you can see I got something extra there, so I'm just gonna manipulate it. So I just have my 1, pinch, pull, and secure. So yarn over and then pull through 2, and this is how it will finish on the edge on this side. So you can see that the petal is leaning on this side in this direction, so they're kind of all leaning in the same direction of going in a half moon. So when we turn it to do the next row, we're going to do exactly what we just did. The only difference is how we're going to start the row will be different because you were building on a chain last time. Let's start the next row. All rows will be the same now going forward. You're going to chain just 1, and then using the eye here, you just want to do a puff stitch that will stand alone, just how you started the very first time. So yarning over, going in, and do that 3 times. So once, twice, and 3 times. So this is if you were like doing a chain 3 or something on the edge to build it up. This is a builder. And so then you're going to finish this puff stitch in the vertical. Okay, take this out. Going in, pull through, and pull through 2. So this here puff stitch is now a vertical one. So when we go to start, we want to use the top of this piece, this corner, and this one when we go to start. So let's carry on. We're going to chain 1 to begin, give it some slack, and go into the top of this puff stitch right here. So we yarn over 3 times, so once, twice, and 3 times. Then you're going to come into this space right here. So just think about diagonals. So this one is on a diagonal. So you're going to go once, twice, and 3 times. And finally, the third one is going to be right here. So you're going to yarn over once, and twice, and 3 times. Once you have the 3 groups on there, you're ready to go. Get that pen out. Okay, come in, and then just start pulling it. So we got once, and then continue to pull through the second group. This does take practice, so if you're starting to create sailor words, you're in my club about a few hours ago. So once you have this done, use your hands, just pinch so you don't lose that loop. Yarn over, pull through, and then pull through 2. And I'll show you one more time. Okay, so just pull through. And so you're going to use the eye, this one, and then the next. So yarn over, going through once, twice, 3 times. Come down here. So once, twice, and 3 times. Come to the next one. So once, twice, 3 times. And now you have your 3 groups again. Pull through the first group, pull through the next group, and pull through the final group. Okay, so I got 2 on here. Which one is the right one? You have to determine that. And if you got the wrong one, then you'll have to restart that stitch. Okay, pinch and remove. Keep that loop. Yarn over and pull through the 2. So that pen is keeping the distance of the centers to be pretty much equal. So I want you to go all the way across, and I'll show you the last one, and then you can just use the skill to go back and forth as many times as you need to, and I'll see you at the end of the row in a moment. So once you're at the very edge, you have to go right to the very end here. So this is not where the ending is, it's actually right here on this side. So you just got to be paying attention to that. So when you're ready for the final, you are just going to do what you know, and you're going to finish that with the groups of 3. So you're going to come down here. And so you have to go after this one. So again, just kind of manipulate it so that you see where all those are coming out of. That's exactly where you want to go. So yarning over and come into the edge. So once, twice, and 3 times. So this, what this does is this one forces it to be horizontal. So what do you think of the pen idea? So if you've gotten this far in the video, you didn't quit. Without the pen, I don't think I could have done this stitch, to be honest with you. I don't think I have the dexterity in my fingers to do it. So then I'm pulling it through everything. Pinch and pull. So this does require practice, so if you're going to quit early on, you may be missing a great little stitch, but it would have to be hell or high water before I ever do a big blanket with this, because it can be a little bit frustrating. But this would be the ending on how you would finish that, so you can finish it anywhere. And when you look at a big one like this, you might want to just take a look at where things are and determine how far you want to go. And the journey is actually kind of fun, and just take your time, throw on some music, throw on some movies, and have yourself a great time doing the Jasmine stitch or Jasmine. And we'll hope to see you again. Bye-bye.